Yep. You already know who it is, man. It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. And I'm in a much better mood today than I was last night, man. Just want to give credit to the Wizards for coming out after a terrible game, putting it behind them, and coming out much more focused tonight. Hard fought win, but we got the win, you know what I mean? Oh wait, hold on, I messed up. Yeah, so my fault, y'all. Yeah, we got the win tonight, man. A hard fought game. You know what I mean? We saw a lot of good things tonight. We saw some, at times, not so good things, man. But overall, man, just getting a win, even though the team that we played is, you know, kind of like struggling like us, they're still an NBA team. They were searching for a win. We had a long losing streak on the road, so to get a road win is always a good thing no matter who we play, man. So I definitely liked what I saw tonight. And yeah, so let's get into it, man. Before I start with the things I liked, since we won the game, there were a few things that I disliked, man. So let's just start there. Early, Stewart, Beef Stew, started the game fast tonight, man. He had 8 points in the first quarter. But as the game went along, we were able to contain him, and he didn't end up being a big factor throughout the game. You know what I mean? Oh, excuse me. Porzingis, early in the game, you know what I mean? He was missing some shots that once he gets even more and more comfortable, more and more playing time, that he's going to make. You know what I mean? But overall, he played a great game. You know what I'm saying? But early in the game, he was missing some, in my opinion, some easy shots. You know what I mean? Shots that we need him to make. And at times, it kind of threw our momentum off. You know what I'm saying? But he got it together, especially in the second half. And we're going to get into that later. We were struggling at times. Throughout the game, we had a couple of scoring droughts. First quarter, we had a scoring drought in the middle of the first. It was kind of, you know, giving the Pistons confidence. Our offense was looking a little, you know, out of sync at times, you know what I'm saying? But we battled back, persevered, got our mind together, got our minds right, and we ended up shaking that slow start off and beginning to run a more efficient, better offense. We had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. That was a problem at times throughout the game. Stuff we need to clean up. We had turnovers in key parts of the game. Like I said, 5 in the first quarter, but even more impactful in the fourth quarter, second half, we had some bad turnovers, and I wasn't happy about that. Marvin Bagley had a nice night tonight, man. He had 6 points off the bench in the first quarter alone. He ended up having a big game. He ended up having 25 points tonight with 5 rebounds to go with that. You know what I mean? So he definitely had a nice game tonight off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Definitely have new life in Detroit after getting traded from Sacramento. So, you know, they have a nice little combination going with Bagley and Kay Cunningham. You know what I mean? There was a wrinkle in. I don't know if Gafford was hurt tonight, but he didn't play tonight. Bryant was the backup to Porzingis tonight. I don't know if that was just a coach's wrinkle. I think Gafford did get hurt last night. I recall him getting getting hurt a little bit. So I don't know if it was a wrinkle or it's because Gafford was hurt. But nonetheless, Bryant played tonight. And he got in foul trouble in the second quarter. He was like, man, shoot, I'm playing tonight. I'm going to use all my fouls. You know what I'm saying? He almost did, but he had 3 fouls by the second quarter. So he definitely got in some foul trouble. I definitely didn't like that, you know what I'm saying? But he did contribute. Definitely spelled Porzingis effectively. So, you know, but that foul trouble, that's something that he's struggled with at times in his career. So I definitely didn't like that. Rui, overall, he played a nice game tonight. He got hurt a little bit. But one thing Rui has to get better at is finding his teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like there's times where he's laser focused on the basket and forgets that he has teammates. You know what I'm saying? So I think that costs us a little bit at times throughout the game. So I definitely overall like his aggressiveness. You know what I mean? But you know, that's just an element of his game that he has to get better at. And that's through watching film and just understanding the offense and where his teammates are going to be. I think he will get better at that as his career moves forward, though. You know what I mean? We got to remember, he's still a overall young player and didn't even play all of the season. So, you know, just to see him sometimes being laser focused on scoring, which we do want him to do. You know, definitely want him to score more. But we do want him to also see open teammates to get better shots. Kispert, cold tonight for the most part. You know what I mean? Went back to early in the season, Kispert that couldn't make any shots. You know what I mean? But again, overall, he still was effective on the floor, still was a key contributor, still provided a lot of other things tonight. So you don't want to kill him too much for missing wide open shots, but we need him to hit those shots. I mean, that is what he's known for. That's why we drafted him. Part of the reason we drafted him. He shows us a lot more of his game throughout the season. And I definitely like how he's developing. And he's definitely a key cog to what we're going to try to do as we move forward. You know what I'm saying? But those wide open shots that he misses are at times momentum killers. And you just be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Kispert, we need that. You know what I mean? So definitely didn't like that. Cade Cunningham, he's going to be a star. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? He started off slow, but as the game went on, he started to get more and more comfortable. And he did a little bit of everything tonight, man. Almost had a triple-double. He scored, assisted, rebounded. Started to get hot in the second half and became a problem for us in the second half. You know what I'm saying? I think he ended the game, 22 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Even a block. I mean, that's definitely a great stat line. You know what I mean? As a rookie, you know what I'm saying? A point guard. We need a point guard like that. Like let's keep it real. We're not gonna get a overall first pick next draft. We do have a chance of getting a former number 1 pick that was drafted by the Wizards. If they make anyway, I don't want to talk about that. But we need a, you know what I'm saying? We need a point guard. Maybe not to the level of Cunningham. But we do definitely want a point guard. That's the type of build that we need at the point guard position. An athletic point guard that can see the floor, can score, rebound, do a little bit of everything. Something like what we have with Russell Westbrook. That's the type of compliment that Bradley Beal needs in the backcourt for him to be at his best. You know what I mean? So, although as a basketball fan, I like Cade Cunningham's game, I didn't like him getting hot in the second half. We were containing him in the first half, forced him into some offensive fouls. Some of them, you know, were questionable, you know what I mean? But to me, they were fouls. I saw him pushing with his forearm both times, especially when Casey got a tech for a foul. At first, from afar, it looked like, man, it might have been a bad call. But then when they played the replays from different angles, it was clear that Cade Cunningham was using his forearm, pushing off, trying to get a layup, and it was offensive foul. Like, there was no doubt about it. So sometimes, you know, they don't want to believe that they fouled, but if they look at the film, watch the game, they'll be real with themselves and be like, yeah, he did foul him. So, you know, but overall, Cade played a great game tonight, man. And against us, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? But I got to give credit where credit is due. In the third quarter, our offense got a little stagnant, and that's when the Pistons began their little run. Well, not even a little run, their big run, and eventually closed our double-digit lead. We went up on them, you know what I'm saying? Something that usually happens to us. We actually went up on them double digits, had a lead as much as 17 in the third quarter, you know what I'm saying? But then we went on a scoring drought. We couldn't score the ball, and that Cade Bagley started to get hot in the second half, and they slowly chipped away at our lead. You know what I mean? Also, who else got hot for them? Kellen Hayes got hot. Magruder hit a couple of threes as well. You know what I mean? So second half, they really, really started to get on fire, and it looked at times like we might drop another double-digit lead and lose the game. You know what I'm saying? But fortunately, we held on and got the win. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. The Pistons dominated us in the post, in the paint, points in the paint battle tonight. Usually we're on the top. We're usually the team that's winning the points in the paint battle. But again, in the second half, Bagley got hot. You know what I mean? Cade Cunningham shooting from the mid-range, getting to the paint, getting easy assists to his teammates. You know what I mean? So they killed us in the paint tonight. So I definitely didn't like that. In the second half, man, especially in the fourth quarter, man, Ish Smith got really sloppy with the ball. How many turnovers did he have? You know, I don't think he had a lot of turnovers. Well, I mean, 4 turnovers. It's arguable. That is kind of a lot. But it was when the turnovers occurred that made those turnovers even more impactful. You know what I'm saying? So in the fourth quarter, he had some bad turnovers. Credit to Coach Unseld for calling a timeout and putting Sadaransky in the game and letting him close the game out. You know what I'm saying? Neto didn't play tonight. And I think after seeing what happened, the debacle that happened in Milwaukee last night, Coach Unseld made a big change and started Sadaransky, which was the right move. You know what I'm saying? And I think that helped us win. But those turnovers, those bad, sloppy with the ball turnovers that Ish Smith had was very disappointing because I know he's better than that. You know what I mean? Especially in crunch time, especially when they're trying to chip away and we're helping them get back in the game by having bad turnovers. He has to be much more better with the ball, especially in key points of the game. Again, we blew a 17-point lead in the third quarter. The Pistons went on had a 6-0 run in the fourth quarter that cut the lead down all the way to 4. And then they eventually tied the game and then went up at times in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So just seeing us blowing big leads, again, lack of focus, lack of concentration, turnovers, not playing defense, missing shots. Just everything that could go wrong was going wrong at times in the second half. You know what I mean? So that's what allowed the Pistons to get back in the game. So I definitely didn't like that. Yeah, like I said, they took the lead at exactly the 5-minute mark in the game is when they took their lead. But again, we persevered, we came back, and eventually held on to get the win. Yeah, I did say Bagley dominated in the second half. And then also another thing, Rui also had 2 bad turnovers, just getting the ball taken from him in the second half. Well, in the fourth quarter specifically, you know what I'm saying? So again, we easily could have lost this game off of these bad turnovers and lapses in judgment, you know what I'm saying? Lapses in focus, you know what I'm saying? So fortunately, we got the win. That's everything I dislike. Big things, key things I dislike, bad turnovers, letting the big lead slip in the second half, things that we struggle with at times, and we just got to get better at, man. But, man, there was a lot of good things that we did tonight, too, man. So I'm going to get right to that. Off jump, man, we started the game with a sense of urgency. There was a much more focus on starting the game better. You know what I mean? Starting the game fast. And even though we weren't hitting shots, it was apparent that we were much more focused and much more into the game than last night's game against the Bucks. You know what I mean? So I definitely like seeing that. Again, I already mentioned it. Sato started in place of Neto, which was a great wrinkle to the offense, wrinkle to the lineup that needed to happen, because I don't want to just blame Neto for our struggles last night, but he definitely didn't play well last night. You know what I'm saying? The point guard has to set the tone. And not to say that Sadaransky really set the tone, but he wasn't a liability. You know what I mean? A big guard at the point position. Like, that is one of our weaknesses when we have Neto starting and then Ish backing him up, is that they're just too small of guards and they get taken advantage of. So to start Sadaransky, I felt really solidified our offense and also helped us on the defensive end, man. So I definitely like that. We were forcing turnovers. You know I like seeing that. You know what I'm saying? The Pistons were a little sloppy with the ball throughout the game. Part of it was them, but part of it was us putting pressure on the ball. So I definitely like seeing that. We had a 7-0 run towards the end of the first quarter to help set the tone. after starting off slow. You know what I mean? So I definitely like seeing that. We got hot from the three-point line in the second quarter. And throughout the game, we started to hit some big threes. You know what I'm saying? Again, third quarter, we went on a drought. Couldn't score the ball. But second quarter, we were hitting some threes. So I definitely like seeing that. Ish pushing the pace tonight. You know what I'm saying? Although, again, those turnovers I mentioned I didn't like, but he's definitely a great change of pace player. And we play better when we play fast. And Ish Smith getting teammates involved, us playing faster when he's in the game is definitely a plus for us. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely like what Ish did minus the turnovers. Denny, man. Denny tonight was looking like that Denny early in the season when everybody was like, you know, he's the becoming one of the top defenders in the league. You know, that rhetoric that was being said earlier in the season. He's cooled off lately, but tonight he came out on fire, hitting threes, rebounding, pushing the pace off of rebounds, assisting, getting his teammates open. Got hot in the second quarter, hitting, like I said, hitting a lot of threes. He ended the first half with 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 for 5 from the three-point line. He ended the game with 21 points, 10 rebounds, so he had a double-double. Great game tonight, man. And, you know, watching him tonight, man, I like KCP. You know what I'm saying? I like his veteran presence and his leadership, and he was great for us this season. But moving forward, next season, Denny has to be the starting 3. He has to be the starting 3. And KCP, man, we might have to try to move him for an asset or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been great for us, but he's not in my opinion, he's not a long-term player for us when we have wings that we drafted. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely good at showing the young guys how to be professionals, but it's clear that if Denny gets more playing time, continues to get his confidence up, he's definitely a key cog to what we could do because he's a bigger player than KCP. He can, especially when he's hitting threes. You know what I mean? He could defend, rebound, sees the floor well. He can definitely be a great starting 3 for us. You know what I'm saying? So I just like what he did tonight overall, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Bryant played tonight in place of Gafford. I'm not sure why, but I felt that he did provide a presence tonight. You know what I'm saying? On both sides of the ball. One thing that he could do that Gafford can't do is hit that three-point shot, and he hit a 3 tonight. He was getting to the line, rebounding. I want to see what he ended the game with. He ended the game with, only played 14 minutes, but he had a good 7 points, 5 rebounds, with 4 fouls, so he took advantage of his fouls, you know what I mean, being physical out there. But I felt that he gave us a good presence in the paint, spelling Porzingis tonight, man, you know what I mean? Again, we took a double-digit lead in the second quarter, which is rare, but we did, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, we couldn't keep that lead in the second half, but just to see us go up double digits, running an efficient offense, playing well, was definitely a plus, you know what I mean? So I definitely like that. Anthony Gill played tonight, gave us quality minutes, and it was really, really, I don't know what to think of it. You know, some people didn't like that Rui wasn't in the game in crunch time, but Gill was, and Gill, we all know he's a solid player. You know what I mean? We all know. I think, let me see, man. Gill, again, a +9 on the floor tonight. You know what I mean? Rui was a +1, but anytime Gill's in the game, he just does good things. He was a +9 on the floor. So, however you feel about, I understand, wanting to get Rui and Denny experience closing games and stuff like that. But, it showed that Unset wanted to win. And for whatever reason, he felt that Gill was a better option closing the game out than Rui. You know what I'm saying? And it worked out for us. I like what Gill did tonight, man. Just solid minutes, man. Never in the way. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, doesn't have any bad plays. And he helped us close the game out. So I definitely like that. But Rui, man, he played well tonight. He got hurt for a little bit, but came back in the game. But he just showed his offensive repertoire. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the 3, his mid-range, and then had the crazy dunk on Stewart tonight. You know what I mean? I mean, it was crazy. Just out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So just to see him do that, you know what I mean, just shows that he has a lot to bring to the table, man. And I definitely like what I'm seeing from him. And him being a key cog off the bench, because Kuzma should be our starting forward next season, no matter what. But Rui is definitely a great player. He just has to work on, like I said earlier, work on finding his teammates, not forcing shots when he's doubled and at times triple teamed. You know what I mean? You got to see the floor a little better, man. Well, a lot better. Let's not sugarcoat it. He needs to see the floor better. But I do like his potential. I like his development. He's showing a lot. His three-point shot is much, much improved. He's the best three-point shooter on the team. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So definitely like what I saw from him tonight. We ended the second quarter, the first half, winning the halftime, up 16 with a 60-44 lead. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely like that. And we played some great three-point defense tonight. Part of it was us, but part of it was the Pistons was just missing threes tonight, man. They ended the game 9 of 30 from the three-point line. No. We ended 9 for 30 from the three-point line. They were 6 for 32. 18.8%, 19% from the three-point line. So we got to give some credit to our defense for that. And I just saw the much more intensity, much more effort than last night's game. You know what I mean? So that definitely contributed to them missing threes tonight. But they also were just missing threes. They were off from the three-point line tonight as well, man. But I definitely like that. Although Kispert was missing shots, I still like what he brought, just playing hard. He had a great sequence in the fourth quarter where he played defense, sprinted back, and got rewarded with the easy dunk. You know what I mean? Just showing that he's still going to contribute, whether he's playing, not shooting the ball well. There's other things that he could do on the court, man. So I definitely like that. But the player of the game tonight, man, Kristaps Porzingis, man. And you know what I liked about his game? He had 30 points tonight, 10 rebounds, a double-double, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, did a little bit of everything. But even the 30 points, I won't say it was a quiet 30 points, but, and I don't even want to say it was an effortless 30 points, but it wasn't like, when they said he had 30 points, I was kind of like, damn. Like, I knew he was being impactful, doing things, but it was like a slow, like, just giving us something every quarter. You know what I mean? 8 here, 6 there. You know what I mean? 6 there. You know what I mean? 7 there. You add it all up, it equals 30. You know what I'm saying? There was no dominant part of the game that, in my opinion, Porzingis had. But in the fourth quarter, he really, again, for us to have a player of his caliber to help us close games, once we get Bradley Beal back and then hopefully we get that quality point guard, you know what I'm saying? With Kuzma back, Denny running the 3. Porzingis is going to be very effective for us. And then him getting a training camp with the team and starting to hit those shots that he was missing earlier in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Once he gets all of his game back, we see the potential. 30 and 10, and he didn't even have his best offensive game. Let me look at his shooting percentage. See, what, 11? I mean, he was 50%. Again, the majority of his scoring was, again, in the second half when we needed him to have a big game. He was struggling early in the first quarter, and in the first half, he wasn't as effective, but he came on in the second half, had a big game, big fourth quarter, and we ended up winning the game, man. So I definitely like what Porzingis did tonight, man. Big rebounds in the fourth quarter to help us close the game, you know what I'm saying? So just him playing a little more physical, we definitely like seeing that, man. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? That's it, man. That's all I have for y'all tonight, man. Great win. Feels good after losing so many games to finally get a win. Yeah, man. So that's all I have for y'all tonight, man. Looking forward to our next game. I think we play the Warriors next, back in the city on Sunday. So that's going to be a tough game, but hopefully we can continue what we did tonight and could carry that momentum into next game. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, if you like the content, man, I would really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel at The Wizard Review. On YouTube, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You could follow me, King Ade DMV, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on the Xbox Series X and S on NBA 2K22. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, till Sunday, have a good weekend. Have a good night. Be safe out there. Take care. Peace.